Xin ciao everyone, hello. Today we talk about success in life, confidence, what it means, and what it has to do with success habits. Building habit blocks step by step by step that support us in our life, and to a huge part that will help us or can hinder us to have the life that we want, a life of happiness, of meaning, and of freedom. So it's a beautiful moment, a beautiful possibility to share a few thoughts. And if that resonates with you, you are very welcomed to dig deeper and to create the life that is good for you. So let's start with the question, what are habits? Because it seems like there is some importance to that. And I remember when I was back in Germany, in the country where I come from, and I had something that I wanted to change in my life. I wanted to go away from a cope mechanism, something that kept me on my phone, that kept my mind screwed over every day. And I talked with my teacher. He's a psychological, spiritual, and life teacher. And I talked with him about my difficulties. And surprisingly to me, at a point very early, he said, "Yeah, you know, Philip, habits are very hard to change, because they are so deep in the human body. And we human beings, we run on habits." And I never heard it like this before, because it felt so, somehow important, somehow difficult, or at least I need to understand that. And it took me years to go a little bit deeper. And today I'm happy to share a little bit of what I have learned by my own experience in life and also through teachings. So let's start with, what are habits actually? Maybe a little bit biology in the beginning. Habits are literally pathways in our neurological system. That's the brain. So, habits are here, and they are here and here and here and here. Because habits are not what you decide for in the morning, like a menu in a restaurant. Oh, today I want to do this, and it happens, and I want that, and that happens, but not this, it doesn't. No. Habits, yes, are created, but they run on automation. This is why it's habits. So there's an automated factor in that, something that runs behind and without our conscious decision. It can be bad. It can be very bad. You know, you have some bad habits, perhaps I have them, but it can also be very supportive in life. So why is it created? Why do we create neurological patterns in our whole nervous system? In the belly, in the brain, it's stored everywhere, because it is information. And if you look at the word information, then you can add a layer and look at it a little bit deeper and see information is in a formation. Ta-da! In a formation. Question is, what is in a formation? There is a certain system, like data in the DNA. It has a lot of information there, but how they are organized makes all the difference. And this is in our pathways, in our neurological system, the same. How we organize our energy, because information are energy, and then how it runs and how we react to it. So let's look at the question, and that might have arisen in your mind right now already, and ask, for what do we need habits then? If they are beyond my conscious decision every day, at least until we make it conscious, and that is where we go to forward, we become more present, we become more aware, and from awareness we have a choice. If we don't have a choice, we have no freedom. Freedom needs choice, and happiness needs freedom. So if you want to be happy in life, we need to have freedom, we need to have a choice. And I talk about the body, I talk about the mind, and Tamchi, and I talk about consciousness, Ituk, and that needs experience. It needs Tamtuk, the living experience of things, and it needs then awareness to make a choice for good or bad, and then to live a life of meaning. Habits originally are a good thing. Why? Because they save energy. So today the oil prices are skyrocketing, and we see that energy has a cost, and the same is in our body. The same is in our mind. Just imagine every morning you would make to have the decision, do I brush my teeth or not? Do I make my bed or not? Do I clean here or not? Wow, that would cost a lot of energy, because guess what? Our decision making is a limited reservoir, a limited battery of energy. True thing. If you make a lot of decisions in the morning, your battery will be depleted over the days. It is not endless. Like all of the energy is stored in a certain system, in us. So for the brain, for the body, to save energy, to reduce energy, to have more capacity free for other things, for example, living, surviving, understanding, and so on, processing, we develop habits. It is like going through a high field of grass. In the beginning, you have to fight, or bamboo, you have to fight through that because it's so dense, so you have to push and pull, and it's so depleting. But if you do that 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time, and so on, you get the concept, it will get easier every time. And this is how our system saves energy. It just develops habits to save energy, to make things easier. Like brushing the teeth, like going out of bed, and so on. But here comes the trick. When do we learn a lot of habits? Well, we learn them, many of them, very early in life. Even when we are children, even when we are babies. So that means that a lot of our habits, a lot of our responses to life are learned very early when we have a few very important needs. We have them over all of our life, but when we were children, we depend on them a lot. And the most important need that we all have, that we all share, regardless of where you come from, gender, culture, time, whatever, is we all want to be safe. Safe. And we all want to be free, because we want to grow and be ourselves. We want to develop. Fatchen. This is what all human beings share. We want to survive, of course. Without survival, without body, no fun. And we want to be free. Free in a sense of, I want to be authentic myself. I want to discover. I want to grow. I want to be in contact with life. And this is what we all want. And in order to do this, we develop a few habits unconsciously, until we make them conscious, that help us with this. So it can be a good habit. For example, if a very early child, somebody wants to grab our toy away, we say, hey, give me back. We fight. So what we do is we set a boundary, and our emotion come up. Yes, it is an automatic response. In this way, it is a habit. But we can make it more plastic. We can look at other habits today. For example, you have the habit of going home. And once you are home, first thing you do is you eat a lot. You don't even wait until the dinner is cooked. You snack. And you gain weight. And you wonder why. I only eat that and that. Yeah, but you don't calculate the snacks. This is a habit, but it is a bad habit because it is not in correspondence with what you want. If you want to gain weight, it's a good habit, at least no problem. But if it is out of your decision, of your autonomy, suddenly you became an autopilot, an NPC in your own life. You don't decide anymore because the habit runs you instead of you running the habit. That's the point. Freedom needs authentic choice and authentic decision making. So, in order to look at that, we need to understand why. For example, the eating habit late at evening. Well, maybe because over the day we have so much stress and we feel so restricted in what we do that inside our need to feel somehow free, out of the box, do something else, connects freedom and physical joy. And what brings us a fast gratification, some dopamine? Food. But it can also be doom scrolling. You sit somewhere, automatic, phone is on. It's a habit. You do it automatic. And we are all not free of it. Because these things, I'm talking to a smartphone, are designed. They are designed by no coincidence, but by actual psychologists thinking about it, with their apps, with social media, to get our attention. And attention is energy. And this is where our energy is instead of ourselves. Alright, so now we understand a little bit where habits come from. They are responses to life. Habits are responses to life. And they can be good because they, in that moment, support us to feel happy, to feel safe, to feel a little bit better. Or they are from a time long ago where we developed them to somehow cope with the reality around us. But today they are out of date. They are not good anymore. It is like developing a habit that today is kind of harmful. And a lot of that happens. A lot of those things. So what can we do? We already see that a lot of the habits that we have created in our life, some unconscious, some we are conscious of, some are good, some we want to change, but not easy to change. And how to implement new habits, it all begins with consciousness, presence. Being present means to be in contact with life as it is right now. Not our thoughts, not our imagination, but reality. Chan Li, how is our life now? And how do we want to be? Who do we want to be? There's a saying that the question is, who you are is what you do. But what if what you do is at least partly out of your control? Then you are not fully you. You are not free. So, first of all, we must decide, who am I? And this is a very, very powerful sentence. It doesn't say, I want to, I would like. It says, this is me. And it is immensely powerful. Because after that, many decisions are already clear. Let's say, I am a clean person. And absolutely, this is my deep belief sentence about me. Then many decisions after that are way more easier. Do I clean my room? Yes or no? Yeah, of course. And you don't need so much energy to overcome yourself because this is who you are. And the action, the decision, is just an outcome of that. So it needs clarity about who do you want to become? Who are you? And from there, we can make a decision. What habits help us? and what habits are not so good because we see them maybe as outdated, maybe as harmful, or somehow in the middle. So step by step, we can reduce those that we identify as not wanted anymore. And that needs understanding, it needs clarity, it needs action, because we must overcome something that is ingrained in our nervous system. It is already there. And I mentioned the bamboo forest. In order to grow back, we need to stop walking on that. So if you want to change a habit, it needs the clarity. What is the habit? Where does it come from? But way more important is you need to reduce that. I'll give you an example. In the evening, I always doom scroll at things when I'm home because I'm so exhausted from the day that my body wants to feel free and happy, my mind, it's just a habit. What did I do? I just installed an app that blocks all social media after a certain time. It's a try. Does it work so far? Yeah, it's working. It's uncomfortable, by the way. And this is important for you. If you want to change in life to something aspirational, to something better, it is not necessarily feeling good in the moment that you do it. Because you change something that you know. And what you know is what, at least for the mind-body, feels like being okay. Give you an example. Somebody drinks a lot of alcohol every day. Is it destroying the body? Oh, yes. Is it destroying the mind? Mm-hmm. Do you do it? Yeah. Not only because you are addicted, but also because that is your normal. So what you need to do is, step by step, implement a surrounding that helps you to change, reduce the things. And you can be smart, you can be creative, you can do it together. There are many ways actually of reducing bad habits and bringing up better ones. So, and now we talk about how do we start with that? Because it all needs a first step. First step, we talked about who do you want to be and when, and how does it look like? How do you feel when you are who you want to be? How does it feel? And then we can look at 2 things, 10 things, 5 things. I recommend a certain number that is overseeable that you would like to change in order to achieve that. Like this person I want to be, what does the person do? How does the person act? How does she or he feels like, and how not? And what would that mean for my daily decisions, for my daily actions? And from there on you can go. You can identify the things unpleasant and the things needed. And then you need to work on that. And then you can look at what 3 important steps make a big difference. So this is important. Who I want to be, how do I want to feel, and what decision and difference right now would actually lead me to there. What would make a difference? And then we do it. There's a rule of just do it. Don't think too much. Because thinking brings you back to your old me. The old me says, this is what I know. This is what I always do. Somewhere in my life that was reasonable. It protected me, it distracted me, it helped me. But you are here now and you want to be here. So you have to say, I know, but I want to change. And it takes energy, decision making, and constant training. So do this and look at the things that really make a difference. And then we can use knowledge. Let's be smart, Dongming. Let's use proven ways. Not everything works for everyone, but a few things do. We human beings have pretty similar constructions. So we can look at the gurus, we can look at the people who really look deep into this. For example, Atomic Habits. It's a very famous book, and I want to give you a few steps out of that book that may help you, may help me and us to move forward. So we talked about the clarity. Who am I is number one. What do I want to change? Clarity means presencing. It means the ability to see where am I now, connect with reality. That's number two. No illusion. Number three, what are the things I want to change? And here we go into the realm of hacks. Number one, keep it simple. Simple wins. Simple means we only do one step after the other. You want to get rich? That's good. But don't expect to get 1 million tomorrow. Maybe you need 3 steps, but make it accountable steps. Do visualization. Paint a picture, hang a poster, whatever. Human beings are, to a large extent, visual beings. And what we see often, that gets basically into our brain. More and more we identify with it, more and more we see it, more and more, here comes the trick, we feel it to be true right now. You need to feel how you want to be, but you need to feel right now and be grateful about it, as if it would have happened already. So you feel, this is me in 5 years or in 3 years. How do I feel? This is important. And be grateful because it feels so good. It feels so much better than now, right? Otherwise, why change it? And then you go to make these simple things, make it into simple things that you can oversee, simple steps, break it down. For example, you want to have a strong body, healthy body. Don't say, I run marathon 3 times a week, gym 5 times, and I do this. Go slow, go slow. You go to gym, yes. You make it accountable, 3 times a week, okay. But make it more clear. I said simple wins. When do you go to the gym? In the morning? Okay. At 8? Fine. What days? Then, what is the step? Do it. Go there, make a contract, sign in, and you go. Second is make it frictionless. Frictionless means as easy as possible. You already have those pathways of old habits in your system. If you want to have a new one, well, make it easy at least for you. Easy wins. So frictionless means the gym I want to go to because I decided in 5 years I'm fit and strong, and to do that easily I go to the gym and I do it 3 times a week. I go to a gym that is next door, not at the end of the town, of course. And I do something that at least brings me a little bit of joy. Because if it's so unpleasant, easy to maintain. So do something that also is connected with your joy and your identity, who you want to be. So make it easy and also design a life around that makes it more easy. For example, if you go to that gym in the morning, don't at the same time think about, oh, I should meditate, I do read that book. Simple. Number 3, create a surrounding that is supportive. So, for example, if you live in a crampy space at home, clear up. And I don't say it like your mom with, oh, that's so terrible, dirty here, you need to... No, I don't care, I'm not your mom. But what I care for is you to be successful in life. Be happy in life, that means. And clarity, honestly, starts with ourselves. Make a first move in the morning. I started that habit many years ago, and it works. Every morning, the first thing I do is make my bed. Most mornings. And that helps a lot, because in your system, emotionally, you feel like, oh, I've done something. Do you know that feeling? You go to sport in the morning and you feel already good after that? Yep. That is how it works. So you do a success thing in the morning already. And also you clean up your space. If everything cramped, your mind is cramped too. Outside equals inside. Don't forget that. We live in a mirror universe. So the spaces we create, the surroundings we create, that matters a lot. And yes, you can say, oh, but I love to live in a creative chaos. fine, but at least have a moment, have a little corner where you are really, really clear and for you. All right, number 4, repetition wins. And that is true. How many of us have dropped out of something that is actually good because, well, after 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, we lose grip, we lose consistency, and we have to overcome that. Repetition, consistency is what really changed the connection in our brain, in our nervous system. The pathways are created by repetition. It is like learning to play piano. Can you do it immediately? Nope. If you can, that's amazing. Call me then. But if not, but you can now play an instrument or do something, well, it has a lot to do with talent, but also with learning. So you know the rule. Somebody with medium talent, but a lot of repetition, a lot of learning, will eventually be better than somebody with better talent, but no training. Repetition, 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 and make it accountable. For that, number 5, get a friend. Get somebody to do it together with. Make it more easy for you even. Get an accountable partner. Get a coach you share with. Where are you? What are the next steps? What are the difficulties? What can you come to overcome that? What is your next step for that? Make it accountable, clear, and together with somebody. So you can do those things, and they are not difficult, but they are also not easy when you do it the first time or the second time. I'm not even sure if it ever becomes so easy, but over time you will learn, and change will become a normal in your system. When you always do the same thing, you are basically already in a state of decline. But if you change things, change, you become more aligned with nature. And basically every little step counts, literally. And you know what? You become proud of it. And here we come to the point of confidence and authenticity. Yay! Confidence! Or not? I need to speak in front of this class. I was always a little bit shy, so difficult. Okay, today is my thing. I do it. And the voice gone. Brain blank. Why? Because you tried to be somebody that you are not. At least not at the moment. Because who are you in essence? You are change. You are an intersection, a connection of always changing things. Every cell in our body is renewed permanently every few years. Even the cells in our brain. Everything change. Old concept, anicca, is the Sanskrit word. And that means you are not one block of you. You are always in a movement, always changing. So when something is difficult now to do, good news. This is only difficult for some belief sentences, for some habits in your nervous system, for some old habits and patterns that you can change. That's the good news. So what does confident mean? The greatest confident is to be yourself. And what is yourself? You are consciousness. You are observing. You are presence. Presence of what? Presence of the perception of life. You perceive life, and then you react to it. And how you react, when emotions come up, this is what you want to control. This is what you want to learn. This is where freedom begins, or where automation and slavery maintains. So how to do that? Well, make steps. And again, make little steps. So if you want to change, and if you want to become more confident in life, and have the things a little bit more easy, action is needed. Real life action. You know, I have been a great theoretical thinker. I don't compare myself to say great in comparison to others. I say great in comparison to the time I spent with my life. I think about this concept and this philosophy and this music and this and this. Yep. But is that really progress? Is that really Fachin? No. It is only the reflection of things. And there's a lot of mistakes in that, because how I perceive things is already filtered, it's already wrong. And then I think abstractively. So what we need is real life actions. And if you are here, that's us, and you want to get here, and somebody says, just make a step. Well, result could be, and that's a fear in us, that we end here. And the deepest depth of hell, speaking in front of class, losing everything, fainting, losing all of the little confidence that we had, being ashamed forever. Fear. We all feel afraid. We are all in contact with fear. The question is how we deal with it. And here comes the thing. Don't be confident and try to be someone that you are not. I know this, fake it until you make it. There is truth in it, because how you think over time change, how you react over time things change. So you're cool, you pretend to be cool, someday you are kind of cool. But the important thing is, how do you feel with it? If you feel pressure, if you feel, and then you come home and finally you can lift off the mask and you wear your underwear and you eat your snacks and you don't need to be the cool guy anymore, well then what you have done out there just costs you too much energy, because it's not you, it's not authentic, it's not true, it's not your authentic light. So if you want to go from here to there, you better understand that number one, there is not hell waiting here. That was just a fear, just an imagination. Things turn out better than we expect in most cases. Number two, get your friend. That helps. Because we co-regulate. Our nervous systems are aligned. We are in a big quantum field. You are the persons that you are closest interacting with, that you feel the most. And by the way, it doesn't matter if you like them or not. The persons you are with, family, friends, co-workers, boss, whatever, how you feel, how you interact with them, this is how you become. Because we are social beings. We interact with the people around us. That means we become them, to be in contact with them. And that is survival, and that is for the nervous system more important than you being happy in the moment. That's it. So be very, very picky with whom you are. And then build your own help. Instead of talking in front of the whole class, you talk in front of the mirror. Mirror here. Next step, you talk in front of a friend. All right. Next step, I am, you remember the code? I am someone who's really, really good at speaking, and I'm learning how to do it. So it doesn't say I am already there, but it also doesn't say, oh, I try. No. I am, and I'm training. And then you go forward, and suddenly that jump is not that big anymore. It becomes a little bit less scary. So do it. And what is very, very important as well, speak with a voice of confidence. Not with the voice of, I don't know, Darth Vader. I'm not good in that, okay. But speak with a voice that is authentic to you. You can train that, yeah, I know. You can be powerful. You can be very, very sublime. But it is all fake. It doesn't matter if it's not you. What matters, and you feel it, if it feels exhausting or if it feels natural, is how much is that aligned with you now. Body. I say it again and again and again. To be confident and to change things and to be present of who you are in life and who you want to become. Feel your body. Come back. Our mind is distorted by a million things. We have learned how life is. We have learned how are women, how are men, by how our parents behaved. Yes, they are the first men and women in our life. Subconsciously, this is our belief sentence. How we react to life, what do we want? There's so many things in us. And it's always evolving, changing, chaotic, upcoming. So how do you come from chaos, uncertainty, unpleasant things and habits that you want to let go, to clarity, peace, and presence? The way is inside, not outside. Inside first. Then you can create things outside. And inside first means honesty, clarity. Where am I now? What do I feel? And who do I want to become? It means breath work, for example. You can also do dancing. You can do yoga. You can do sound bath. You can do so many things, but the aim is to bring you back to your experience with life right now. Everything else is a derivation. I don't say thinking is bad. Thinking helps you to not run into a wall twice, if you're lucky. But thinking is not life. Thinking is the abstract of life. So if you really want to be happy, and you want to be lucky, free, and feeling well, then it is important that you really come back to the body. You follow your breath. You follow your feeling. Where do I feel in this moment? How does it feel? And then just have attention to it. Quantum mechanics, physics, biology, however you name it, from whatever perspective you see it, they come to the same point. And the point is, we are an access to reality. We create the things around us by our belief sentences and by our actions, and we are also in interbeing, in connection with all around us. So, in a summary, that means you can change consciously. You can let go stepwise. And you can go to who you want to be, who you become by consistent, accountable, simple, frictionless, but making actions. And this is also how you become more confident, because in the end, confidence does not need pushing. It means to be yourself. Confidence sometimes sounds like I do something that I'm not. No. Confidence means to be it authentically. And yes, sometimes confidence needs a push to overcome a fear. A fear. If you want to save someone, let's say from a car that is coming to that person, you run there and you do it not knowing if you would survive. This is brave. I hope that does not happen, but it is bravery. But bravery is not confidence. These are different things. Confidence means to know who you are and to act according to who you are, in alignment, not against it, where inside you feel so worthless, but outside you're so strong and such a hero. That creates literal illnesses in your body, at least tiredness a lot. It really reduces your focus and ruins your nervous system. Don't do that. Be smart. Listen to your inner voice. but how to listen to your inner voice in a world of distractions and of all the things coming to you and wanting your attention. Well, by turning those distractions down. Go to a retreat, go to nature, hug a dog, physical contact again. Hugging, so important. Go under a tree, listen to the rain, do meditation, do the things, whatever it is, that help you to reduce stress. And then be very clear, journal. Thankfulness is one of the most important factors of a healthy life. And you can journal in many ways, but if you do it and you combine that with gratefulness, journal three things every day you're grateful for, wow, that works, because your brain looks more at the things that you like, and the world around you reacts, because again, we are somehow interconnected with universe. Universe is listening all the time, and universe is not listening to I want with force and push, because what do you say to the universe? Oh, I have such a lack. Nope. I am rich and peaceful in whatever way we find rich. It should not come from a greediness, from a lack, because again, it's a mirror to what you deeply believe. All right, so let's look at it in a very short move. Happiness depends on freedom. Freedom means having choices. Having choices, not running on autopilot, that means presence. And we need to train that, especially when we are trained to be so unconscious and only follow the things that are in our mind, are in our surrounding, are in our body because it feels good but is not so helpful anymore. Yep, it needs presence. And then it needs clarity. Who do I want to become? What are the things that I need to change, implement, or decrease? And then consistent steps, step by step, in many different ways. And we can build a surrounding system around that. And the most important thing really is presence, consciousness, clarity, because that changes our nervous system and the fundamental vibration of our nervous system. This is how the world around us is, because our body, guess what, is the mirror of our subconsciousness. I say it again, our mirror is our subconsciousness. So we can change a lot in our life, and there are many practices. I just shared a little bit of an overview with you, and I hope you create a life of joy. Joy, happiness, freedom, and also helping others, because helping others, this is a great key to happiness in life. So enjoy yours and hear from you very soon.